Welcome back to Two Homers and a Realist. It is the midweek pod before the last game of the regular season. I'm Steve.
I'm Connor.
Lucas.
We're excited. I tell you what it is. We discussed this earlier, so I'm going to steal it. This is the latest in a string of playoff games for OU. We've been in a playoff. We've been in a playoff since the Ole Miss game. Must win to advance. We continue to win.
Way to steal it from me, Steve.
We beat Tennessee. It was my own idea. We beat Alabama. We beat Missouri, and now we're going to beat LSU to advance to the playoff.
Remember November.
Yeah, Sooners win in November. Championship November.
No, it's not championship.
Oh, no, okay, it's not, but it can be.
A November to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like the Lexus commercial or something?
Yeah, that's December to remember. Hey, this is nice. All right. Well, I don't know.
That's a different pod.
That's true. Let's jump right into it and talk about the upcoming game. We can reflect back on the Missouri game, what went well, what did not go so well, talk about how that is going to impact our ability to win this game. I think one thing to throw it out there right away is the fact that Mateer continues to be kind of fits and starts, good and bad, mostly not so great. We look back at a lot of plays diagrammed. We look back at a lot of replays that are just frustrating because
they're damning.
If he hands the ball off, it's a big gain, if not a touchdown. If he keeps the ball, it's the other way. If he makes the pass that's wide open.
That 3rd and 2 that we talked about when he went deep, we've all been wanting to see a deeper ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that 3rd and 2, he had a one-on-one, but the receiver didn't have any separation. But instead, we had a receiver on a slant. Who was the short route?
Was it Lewis?
Was it Lewis? I think it was Lewis, maybe. But it was a 3rd and 2, and we were trying to run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally just has a quick little slant, and he's got
wide open.
He's got 3 steps probably on the defender, and for probably about a 5-yard gain, that continues the drive.
Yeah,
and keeps the defense off the field, keeps the clock running, and that one first down
might have won the game right there.
Yeah,
because you're going down to kick a field goal to go up 14 points at the very minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, very frustrating.
It sucks too because that's one of Mateer's better throws, probably on the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like that hits Satania in the hands. It needs to be caught. But situationally, to your point, that's not the right throw.
The wrong throw.
I don't care how good the ball is. That's still
I think a throw is wrong, period.
Very
there.
low percent. I agree.
Yeah.
And that's a great play call on 2nd and 2.
I don't mind that if it's the slant route. Don't mind it. Yeah. But he also had one where he literally could have we spread. I think it was 5 wide. We had the entire defense spread out. There was no linebacker in the middle. All he had to do, I don't remember what the situation was. I want to say it was like 3rd and 5 or something like that. Literally, the only guy standing there was the back judge. So all he had to do was just run and get 5 or 6 yards and get the first down. And again, keep the clock running.
Yeah.
We ended up, where did we go? 6 of 16, I think, on 3rd down. And that could have easily been 8 of 16. We could have had 50% on 3rd down, which at this point, we're pretty satisfied.
It's so bad situationally on the offensive side of the ball. And again, we talked about it in length. The lack of identity, the lack of rhythm. The comment that we talked about a little bit on Saturday really kind of stuck with me, and I thought a little bit more about it, that Rod brought up, our good friend Rod in section 107, about, the troubles we've had from coaches and things that have come from Washington State. And I was just thinking about that. Like, it's an easy, just very high-level comment to say, but at the same time, you go back and look at the comparisons between Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer last year at Washington State and how that's been on a decline. And again, yes, SEC opponents, etc. That makes sense to an extent. But also, I'm wondering how much, like at Washington State, you're going and looking at film against these teams that you're playing, and you're seeing defenses. Those defenses are probably pretty consistent in what they run. Like, they're not going to throw a lot of wrinkles at you. They're not. I mean, and again, this is my own assumptions, so I don't know how true this is or isn't. I'm sure they mix stuff up to an extent. But the readiness that they seem not to have in the SEC to these elite level defensive coordinators and defensive players to make adjustments, to throw in different looks, and their inability to adjust to that is what has me concerned. And, I'm chalking that up to a little bit of why we haven't really seen much out of that side of the ball, especially since we've gotten to conference play. It's just so frustrating because you're so close. Like,
close?
What?
We're
close?
so
close. That's what Kanik said.
But I mean,
he said he hated to hear.
We all hate to hear it. We all hate to say it, but it's like you have a championship defense. I mean, you have a championship special teams, but now you're just lacking the a very critical area of play.
And the committee's going to hold it against us at some point.
I don't know if they will. I don't.
I hope they don't.
Could. So the rankings are already out tonight.
You can only win your games. Win the games you play. Well, yeah, you win them, right?
But the rankings are already out. They didn't hold it against us tonight, so it's done. I mean, we didn't hear the narrative. I didn't know if they said. Yeah, but I mean, if we win by 1 point against LSU, they're going to hold that against
this weekend, and Notre Dame blows somebody up again. Notre Dame can jump us.
I don't really see any possibility of that.
Their schedule is so weak that they only have the one good win against number 17 USC, which I thought was kind of shady that they didn't drop further down.
Right.
I think the committee is keeping them at arm's length to help Notre Dame's case if they decide to screw us next week.
I don't think there's any way they come in a last second after your team has played their resume and won yet another game, and all of a sudden you're going to get dropped. I just don't see that.
And thankfully, Notre Dame's not.
I don't see it either.
Notre Dame's playing another game after this weekend. Like they don't get to go play a conference.
Yeah, they'll be kind of forgotten about.
Like so, I tend towards what Steve thinks in that aspect, but Lucas, I also fully can appreciate where you're coming from there. I mean, you go out and you win this, in a very low scoring game, and Notre Dame goes and juggernauts a team. We've seen crazier things in the past. The committee doing.
I mean, we saw the committee did at Florida State when they lost their quarterback,
and that
they literally kept weren't they undefeated? Yes, an undefeated Florida State out of a 4-game playoff.
Yeah, but
14 playoff.
Yeah, 14 playoffs. So that was a lot different than this. I mean, they took a lot of heat for that. I don't know. That helps it somewhat. It's not like it's precedent. If anything, to me, that is a mistake that was made that makes it less likely they make another mistake in the future. I'm not saying there are ways we can't drop, but I don't think it's to a Notre Dame who jumps us. I think it'd be to somebody else who's a conference champion, maybe a Alabama, maybe potentially in a weird scenario where both BYU and Texas Tech are in front of us, but I don't see that very likely. In a scenario where Michigan wins the Big Ten title, potentially they would move in front of us, even though we beat them with a more complete resume with a conference championship. It's about the only thing I can see. And all of those are remote.
And at this point, I think for the most part, we can agree you win and you're in, right?
Right. Yeah.
It takes some very extreme things to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 98% chance, according to ESPN, that we make it if we win. There's some 2% out there that has some reasoning and justification. Now the question is, do we host or not host, right?
Yeah, that's the positioning that you're wanting, and
so
critical.
At what point and how much do you guys think or put stock into? Does ESPN look at some of these matchups once they're posting the rankings next weekend after the conference championship games? Are they looking at different markets or for home and away? Like, does anything play a role?
I imagine that plays a role some, which I think is still in Oklahoma's favor.
Mm-hmm. We have been the most watchable team in college football this season.
Yeah,
according to
that's right.
Actual ratings.
If you look at the other teams potentially in contention, I know they're a big outsider looking in with a chance to get up, but like a Miami is not somebody that they should look favorably on in terms of posting, because that's guaranteed to be a bad crowd. And that's a long way for anyone to travel, whereas Oklahoma's pretty central, so it's not that hard to get here if you're looking at it from that standpoint for fans as well as the team. I think that factors in, though. I think it's only a beggars and choosers type, or only after they've satisfied all the other criteria that are much more important would they look at something like that. I do think they'd look at things like an OU Notre Dame matchup as being much more appealing than an OU Texas Tech matchup and a Notre Dame Oregon matchup, even, or whatever, just trying to pick teams that are around in the same area. That's the marquee matchup potentially that you could get. That the only thing that might be more interesting is not any longer a possibility, and that's OU USC. But OU Notre Dame is it's
probably the most interesting non-bye first round matchup.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know if any bye matchups that are that interesting. Actually,
no. So I meant like like the first round of the playoff.
Right.
OU in Oregon. I can replay the BS kickoff all over again.
Only
Alan Patrick holding the ball.
Know anything about that though?
Gordon Reese. We can bring him back up.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
see where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think he's dead.
I think he was at the time.
Yeah.
So
his eyes didn't work at least.
It'd be great to host a game. Really, really hoping we do. It's very lucrative for the university. It's very lucrative for the local businesses. It's a good statement on top of everything you've accomplished this season. It'd be really a shame to get that yanked away from us. I think we'd handle it well. I think the team would handle it and the coaches would handle it well, but it still would be a very difficult thing to have happen to you after you've done everything that you really can do to get to a hosting position for sure. But I've got strong faith that we're going to do it. I'm not too worried about it. You worried? Like, what's your worry level?
Not worried. I mean, worry level 1 out of 10. 1 being not worried, 10 being most worried. I'm probably at a 5 right now.
Mid-level worry. Okay. Yeah.
Just because I'm really
fan.
I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop. Like I'm waiting for.
Yeah, I'm more worried about winning this game.
Yeah.
I think there's much greater chance we would mess it all up by losing this game.
I'm sure our listeners are saying the same thing. We got a game on Saturday.
We got to win.
Yeah.
So we're
another playoff game.
Another playoff game.
Yep.
I said that.
You said that?
I did.
I remember.
So we are 9.5 point favorites.
Yeah.
Is that opened at 10.5? That's strong.
Seems high to me. I know we just covered against Missouri, won by 11.
The Western Kentucky game?
Yeah, really.
LSU?
No kidding.
Yeah, we did. We watched it.
Okay. Just making sure.
But I've also watched this offense. And yet another SEC team coming in that has a good defense. I don't know what the rankings are, but I think Jay was looking it up earlier and we had faced like
7 of the top 10.
Yeah, 7 of the top 10 defenses.
And they're in the top 10.
Which should tell you something.
It's like, yeah, our offense sucks, but they're also going against really tough defenses.
Yeah, really tough.
I mean, if we were playing Purdue's and Northwesterns and Syracuse's and Rutgers of the world, I mean,
who was the one team?
I would probably owe Jay breakfast at that point, but I don't.
From in the SEC that we played, Tennessee,
maybe.
Tennessee's got a pretty good defense. I thought.
Tennessee was in the top 10.
Look it up, Statsman. Statsman Nolan's on it. He's going to look that up. Get your defense.
I bet Auburn's not very high anymore.
Yeah, maybe they're not very high.
They were when we faced them, but they aren't now. South Carolina's defense is probably not very high up there.
Well, he's going to look it up. While he's doing that, we do get a shot in the arm potentially with rumors that Taylor Tatum could be back and be playing.
How strange.
That's real strange.
I mean, Brent said this was the first week he's been healthy all season.
Yeah.
I mean, did they go?
Which is weird because he hasn't been on.
If that's true, great. Or B, did we go?
Yeah, I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
If you're not, how out do you have to be to not even be listed as out?
Maybe a 4-string running back doesn't required.
You don't have to.
Yeah, he's not expected to play anyway, so you're not putting.
You don't put. Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
But you're also putting the same 3 offensive linemen that have been out the entire season on their availability.
I've got a feeling that there was a heart-to-heart that happened.
I think once they're there, they have to stay because they started that way.
He hasn't been on the report in the past.
Yeah.
And just completely dropped off in the last couple of weeks.
So maybe they could justify that he moved to 4th position.
Well,
maybe that's the rule. I don't know.
Maybe he already played 3 games at the beginning of the season. I don't remember, but maybe that's what happened. Is he played 3 games and now he can get the 4th and still save his red shirt.
Yeah. So you're calling BS a little bit on that. He's already healthy.
If that's the case,
that could be.
But I can't remember. I don't think he's played this year.
Well, hold on. We'll get to the stats on that. But first, Nolan, what do you got on defense?
So from what I see of total defense off of NCAA.com.
Speak up a little bit. You're over here.
Tennessee would be the team that was not in the top 10.
Okay. All right.
They were like 12th, 13th in the SEC.
So look up Taylor Tatum. How many games has he played this year?
I think it was 1. I think he has 1 carry.
That seems right to me.
I looked it up. He was 1 for -1.
Maybe he carried. Maybe he was on special teams at some point. The first, like Temple or something. Maybe he was on like kick coverage or maybe he's played in 3 other games, just got random snap. I mean, just got random plays.
Right.
And so they didn't want to burn his red shirt, even though we really needed a running back last
week.
He
didn't want the red shirt burned. Even though we did need one. That just all of that is so confusing to me. The rotation, why the fact Jaden Nod is just a non-factor. That he, as if he had broken his leg. Like the guy can run. Can he not? Is he not better than a gimpy Xavier Robinson? And and risking him by having him go back out there and risk
maybe they were afraid that he was going to have like a moment of spite and just like fumble the ball accidentally in a big moment, just out of spite or something. Like maybe he'd been done wrong because
he's one though. Like he's one that I'm not. I do think it's an attitude problem with him. I think it's an ego or something.
I don't know what else it could be at this point.
I don't. I mean, there's. He had a moment after the Alabama game where the team's celebrating off by themselves.
He's talking to some
and he's talking to some girl in the stand. And like, okay, that may have just been an unfortunate timing of a picture. But at the same time, go look. I mean, I see the kid's body language there in front of me, and dude is at the back of the bench, standing there with his helmet in his hands, like not engaged. So
why do they still have him out there?
Why is he even on the team?
Right.
Yeah.
Like don't suit up. You're in street clothes today. Like
there are other guys who don't get to make the trip, who aren't there. They don't have that. They have a great attitude. They're a big contributor.
Right. And it's speculation. So, I don't know if that's the case or not. I mean, maybe we're all just misreading it, but there's something up there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's super fishy.
It is. It's really fishy.
I mean, for Brent to come out and say that he was taking the majority, or them to come out last week and say that he was taking the majority of the snaps in practice last week, and he doesn't sniff the field. And Robinson can barely move laterally at all.
I mean, I was shocked.
I did not realize he said that.
Someone said that Ott was seeing most of the carries in practice last week.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that.
It seems super crazy that Sawchuk didn't get in.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can tell Robinson couldn't do anything. I just go straight forward.
Yeah.
And then Blaylock came in on a couple plays, like 3 snaps, but he didn't run the ball.
Well, and that's a risk to him as well.
I don't know why Sawchuk. I mean, literally, you could have just run a toss sweep a couple times to see if anything was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like that's a difficult play.
Right.
It's not a pass block.
Right. He doesn't have to think much. He just has to run.
1st and 10, you trot him out there, you do a pitch play, toss sweep, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he gains 4 or 5 yards, and you're like, hey, let's do this 5 or 6 more times and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's confusing. It goes back to DeMarco Murray. Potentially we'll have some time to discuss and debate that. I don't know. It may come upon us really quick that we get coaching changes if we get to a point where we, having won the national title, or if we, get somehow beat in the playoffs. But it could come fast. It won't surprise me. In fact, it'll surprise me if we retain all of the coaches in all the different.
That's what we said last year.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just that much. Joe Jones 100% gone.
Yeah.
Emmett Jones. I mean, what can you say about our receivers?
I know.
Not much.
Not much.
I mean, I think Lewis was a bright spot until the injury.
Yeah.
Because of no padding.
Thank God for Sataniar.
Yeah. Sataniar's been.
And even he's done some stupid.
The bright spot.
Right.
I mean, we talked about Burks last week going into the game, and he did absolutely nothing again.
Well, it just sucks. We all wanted Burks to be the guy we thought he was going to be, and he's just not.
Yeah.
Just not it.
I mean,
I'm afraid that's true about a few guys.
Yeah.
It's not just Burks. Javonte Gibson, and again, how much of it is Mateer's fault?
Yeah, a quarterback makes a big difference there.
So,
I mean, when you watch some of these guys that left, Nick Anderson didn't really get any playing time, and he got hurt.
Right.
But Brandon Thompson looks damn good at Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Thompson looks really
Andrew Anthony looks pretty good at Duke.
Brandon Thompson was a Biletnikoff Award semifinal.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, they do throw the ball every down,
and a lot of the times to him.
Right. But even Andrew Anthony, I mean, it goes back to that injury situation where. We were wondering when guys were coming back, and then we thought maybe it was some medical staff issues, and they were going to see outside the university medical people, and that pissed a bunch of people here off, and left a bad taste in the coach's mouth and Smitty's or whoever's.
Well, it's a big. Well, I don't think Smitty has anything to do with the medical unless they're blaming him for hurting people. But
we did in the past before he went to A&M.
Well, no, I'm sure they probably are. Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, we did. I did.
Yes.
We were blaming Smitty for.
I blamed him this year and last year.
But you just look at holistically a few of these areas that we're talking about. I mean, you're just talking about just mismanagement of things. And for as much as we pride ourselves on Nagy and the front office we built and some of this amazing infrastructure that the program has relative to some other places, there's so many random things that are just not done correctly.
Not done yet. Yeah. Not getting together.
Mismanagement of the running backs, or not being confident enough to go and fire some of the people on the coaching staff and bring in new blood to go and fix some of the stuff that we've been facing.
Yeah.
The injury stuff last year. It's just there's so many other parts of the program where it's we're really focused on a lot of this stuff and it's really great. But you look into this other stuff that's having these residual effects, I feel like. And they're not short-term things. Like they're things that have affected us over 2 or 3 seasons.
Well, and one thing that's frustrating is that we're never told a complete answer.
Right.
We're
all speculating.
They're given a line, like you hear rumors, and then you're given some PR. It's nothing but PR, and their inability to have any transparency is very frustrating.
Yeah.
On top of all of it, and it leads to the speculation. It leads to people because they got nothing else to go on, and they don't. What else do I have except for what I see? And that includes a ton of, just like you say, mismanagement or problems. And when it rains, it pours. Last year, when things are going really poorly, it's very frustrating. And so you're looking at everything and you're frustrated. This season, not so much, but we're still seeing on the offense some difficulties, and so it compounds for sure.
I honestly would have thought at this point in the year, for as bad as the offense has been for 6 weeks, really. I mean, we haven't even scored. Well, we scored 30 in
Tennessee
SEC play, but that we had a defensive touchdown.
Right.
I would have thought by this point, Brent would have kind of forced Kevin Wilson in on
making
Arbuckle to make changes.
Maybe that's what we've been hearing about in the last couple of weeks, and that's what we were seeing a little bit of. I don't think it's going to be revolutionary.
Resembled anything Kevin Wilson has ever run.
Well, but I mean, what are you expecting? You expecting him? He's going to all of a sudden just engage the 2006 offense?
And there was the story that came out about Kevin Wilson sitting down with the team after the Ole Miss game. And but again, to what effect is that saying? Like, all right, here's how we're going to go 180 on this thing. What I'm most frustrated about is the constant dodging of accountability, both from Brent and Arbuckle to a large extent. Of just that we suck. Like, it's okay to say we suck. I know you don't want to say it in that harsh of words, but like for Arbuckle to come out after the game and say, I think we're getting better every week. Like, don't give me lip service, man.
Yeah, we see it.
Like, you don't have to go be best friends with John or anything. Like, you're his coach. I don't need you to be a Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams, this best buddy.
Right.
You are his coach. You need to hold him to a standard. And it's not like, again, behind closed doors, I'm sure they're saying a lot of the same stuff we are. We want to hear it as fans say. Like, I want to know that you guys know that it's a problem, and I want you guys to lay at least some high-level path out in front of me to say, here's how we're going to get better.
I think that perhaps that comes with maturity, and Arbuckle's very young, and he doesn't yet know how to thread that needle in how to talk about his team and his players out with the media without throwing someone under the bus. And there is a bit of an art to it. You just have to get comfortable with that. And part of it just comes with the confidence to know he knows how I feel about him. He knows I support him. So he's not going to take this the wrong way. And also, he's not hearing anything different at this point than he hears when we're in private conversations. In fact, it should be harsher in private conversations, but also fuller. And I get if he wants to say, listen, there is a lot for you to understand as a fan, as an observer, as the media. Yeah, we're not where we need to be, but he's struggling to come up with how to convey that without making it sound like he's just apologizing for it all or denying it.
Right.
And he needs to just learn that he can talk about it. Like you say, he needs to learn to talk about it.
Yeah, it just feels like an ignorance is bliss type of thing almost with him. Like, I think there's a fine way to do it. Like you said, it is an art form. But I think there's a way that he as Arbuckle can fall on a sword and simultaneously demand more from his team or from his quarterback.
You got to say, we got to be better. Right. I mean, there's a lot
I'm not calling the best games.
I think in Brent's heart of hearts,
at the highest level,
winning a game 17-6 doesn't bother him.
And that worries me.
I think what bothers him is when we needed to get first downs in that fourth quarter.
And we couldn't. And that's what he said in the interview.
He did say that. And to keep the defense off the field, you just got to pick up a couple first downs instead of having 5 punts or whatever we had in that fourth quarter, because we only scored 3 points, right? It was 14-6 at half.
Right.
And it was 17-6 final. We got a field goal to start the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally
nothing.
We didn't barely cross a 50 after that. I mean,
even when we got the ball very close to it.
Yeah. And so that's what is odd about Brent is he's so defensive minded and defense centric that, I mean, in the Big Ten, up until recently, Ohio State's gone crazy scoring a bunch of points. But when you look back in the 90s and early or mid 2000s, you'd watch a Big Ten game and it'd be 14-7.
Right.
And you're like, damn, that was a really good game because the defenses were good.
But
meanwhile, in the Big 12, it's 63 to 40.
Yeah, but not contemporary to those two things.
Right.
Like you're a decade apart with those. And I would say,
but I still don't mind. I liked watching Big Ten games because it was a different atmosphere.
I don't.
Of 14.
I don't. And I don't want to be that way. And that's my trouble with Brent if he's like that and he's satisfied with 17-6, because those teams sucked. And the Big Ten sucked back then. They did. They were not very good.
Iowa has
and it's beyond Iowa.
In the last 5 years.
For 20 years, the Big Ten wasn't very relevant. And they weren't very competitive because all they could muster was these big fat ankled guys who couldn't do more than 2 times up and down the field, and it was done. That's not going to win football, and it's definitely not going to win football in this era. You've got to be able to score. And the problem I have with 17-6, I don't mind the 17-6 occasionally. Every game can't be 17-6 or something like it, because that will catch up to you. And that's what I feel like is going to happen. You've got to have the capability of scoring points where occasionally you say, hey, like, we're going to have a bad game and lean on the defense. We're going to have a game the offense can't score. We can't have every game where the offense can't score.
Right.
That's not going to work.
You can't have you can't have a holistically bad offense or a holistically bad offensive scheme. Like you said, there's going to be games where it just doesn't work. Like the scheme doesn't work, or the game plan, or the execution's not
or
there.
Just fumbles.
It cannot be every game
stuff. Yeah.
Or it can't be like, well, it felt like last week again. Horrible first half, decent second half. Like, at what point do you just put a whole game together and say this is the standard?
What frustrates me?
Talk about
a decent second half is 3 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Right.
That's not decent.
Finding a way to win.
Barely crossing the.
Finding a way to win. Like,
it's got to be more than that, man. It's got to be more than that. I mean, it's not like the other team's going to hear that and go, "Oh my gosh, they can't score points.
Right.
Let's beat them that way." Everyone is aware of your problem. Go ahead and admit it and say, "We got to be better at scoring and getting down the field to produce." So that's definitely something that's frustrating. I'll tell you something else that's frustrating. That's looking for a coach. And there's a lot of teams out there looking for coaches. One of them, I think, found one today. It sounds like Oklahoma State hired North Texas's Eric Morris. That's a big hire. That's a big get for the Cowboys.
That's a good
did you turn it? Did you turn it?
I did. Yeah.
Still out.
What about yourself?
Okay.
That's a good get for sure.
That's a great get. I think that's a good fit for them, and it's a good sign they were able to sign somebody at this point. We hear that
it's even better get if he comes with the running back and quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah. If that means that they kind of are signaling they got their act together with NIL and everything else, that's really good for the Cowboys. I think that you look at what are they called? The Pooh Balls at Missouri, the Council of Elders, the curators,
the Council of Curators or something, board of Curators instead of regents.
Okay. Well, they've gotten together apparently to have an emergency meeting tomorrow, right before Thanksgiving.
That makes me wonder if Drinkowitz has got an offer from somewhere.
I think
they're trying to step in and stop it.
Yeah, they're probably trying to counter and solidify him, which is not a bad move on their part, even if they were doing it preemptory. But I bet it's something that is in the works that they're going to try to stop.
I mean, it can't be Florida. He's too big of a dork to go to Florida.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say it couldn't be Florida, but I'd say it's unlikely Florida. I think it's more likely
Penn State.
It might be Penn State.
Penn State's a way better job than
Mississippi. It might be Mississippi.
Could be.
And so it could be, and that'd be more preemptory to think Mississippi's going to come after him. Maybe they've caught wind of the fact they're going to if Lane is gone or will be gone or could be gone. And so they're going to step in now and do that.
Drinkowitz at Ole Miss would make sense.
What about Auburn?
Missouri and Auburn's lateral.
Yeah.
I mean,
would Arkansas be too far of a step?
I don't know, though, recruiting wise.
Arkansas's lateral.
I think Arkansas's lateral. I think Mississippi's just slightly above lateral.
I think Auburn would
I think Mississippi's above Missouri.
I think Auburn would be a step up just from
But I think
just slightly.
Auburn is probably neutral.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, at this point, you have to look at your pods and see who Auburn.
Well, and you also have to look at
if they're playing Alabama. Well, of course, they're playing Alabama. Are they playing Tennessee every year? Are they playing Georgia?
If Drinkowitz goes and wins eight or nine games a year at Missouri,
I don't know.
He's not losing his job.
That guy, look it up.
He's not losing his job if he wins 8 or 9 games a year at Missouri.
Right, you're gold. But the same thing can be said about Kiffin. Now it depends on how much money they're going to bring to the table.
Yeah, but if it is like a team like Auburn runs people off.
Bama, Tennessee, Vandy is Auburn's.
Bama, Tennessee, Vandy. Bama, tough. Tennessee, tough. Vandy,
Depends.
Won't be tough after
depends. Yeah, it won't be tough. That's an interesting one to see.
No, they're starting to get some recruits.
What's going on there? That ain't gonna last.
They just signed their coach to the biggest.
That ain't gonna last. Did they sign it by the start of the year or
like early mid? Yeah. Who knows?
Well, there's a lot of transition.
It's a fun carousel.
You've got.
We said Indiana wasn't going to be like they were last year, this year, and they are.
We'll see how good they actually are. I don't know. We'll see. Boy, they sure tried to lose a game against Michigan State, and then Michigan State's not any good. Now that can happen, but
not Tennessee, Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. Okay.
So Georgia,
that guy was wrong.
That's tough.
So it's Alabama, Georgia.
That is tough.
Yeah,
that's real tough.
And what is Missouri's? OU,
us,
Arkansas,
and
LSU.
Maybe LSU.
I don't know.
We'll
efforting over there.
So
there's
still a lot.
They think they're internet specialists, and it's still.
I know. Watch out for a second text.
Yeah.
I think that there's more to come. We'll see if anything happens with Lincoln Riley. What do you guys think? Do you think Lincoln stays, or does he get taken somewhere? They're not going to fire him.
Got it.
I think he stays.
I think he stays as well.
A&M. So Missouri has us, Arkansas, and A&M.
Okay.
So I think, that's two tough and one okay one. So
yeah.
It's probably equal on that. I don't know. I think Missouri and Auburn are neutral.
So Tennessee Titans, are they going to take your Lincoln Riley?
Is there any more smoke out of that, though?
No, it's been quiet since I saw that.
I just really don't think it's going to happen.
A week ago.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
I mean, he could go there and say we're close. He's got
be a big buyout.
Would USC not maybe budge a little bit of that now and be like, you don't have to pay us as much as we pay us?
Hey, no, they'd hold out for every dollar.
I don't know if they would. I think there's a lot.
Look at that.
There's a lot of people at USC kind of getting fed up with him.
4 of their 5 fans,
and I think alumni and former players and stuff for he's always going to be the same guy. He's going to play offense and not give any crap about defense. And the so close things rubbing them the wrong way like it did us. So maybe he's got a $50 million buyout, and they say,
"No,
Tennessee Titans, give us $15 million."
It's like no way. No to both of those, and I think we know that it's like 70 or 80 million.
No, that's for them to buy him out to leave.
That's the same. The buyout's the same.
I don't think it is. I think another school could come or
buyouts are usually just one amount.
I don't know.
If you get fired or if someone comes to get you, and we lose you, you got to buy yourself out of the country. Well, I don't think there's any way they take a discount. They're not going to take a discount.
I think if they're tired of him and they see this as the best option, is like, we're not going to be able to spend $90 million to get him out, and the program hasn't shown.
Tennessee coming to the table to say, we suspect that you would, and maybe they would.
Saying Tennessee Titans, not Tennessee Volunteers. Yeah,
I said Tennessee.
Right. I'm just for the listeners. We'll keep saying Tennessee.
Well, I said Titans earlier.
Yeah.
So
if the Titans
go to
USC and it's like, hey, we want Lincoln Riley. I don't think they're going to be like, well, you got to pay us $90 million. I don't think there's any chance they're doing that. I think it come to negotiation, just like Franklin negotiated his stuff when he left.
And you think, what do you think they'd let him go with? I think they would. I think they'd hold out for every dollar.
I don't think they would because maybe they're ready to see him go.
They need another coach to pay.
Yeah,
I feel like it would.
They need the money.
Yeah. Lincoln is living the best life right now, though.
They don't need the money because they haven't spent that on Lincoln up front. It's not like you paid $90 million to get him, but you signed a contract.
You still have to buy another.
If Tennessee says we'll give you $20 million to buy him out, USC might be like, hell yeah.
No, they're not going to. They have a $90 million asset. They're not going to give it away for 20, even if they think he's not that great.
It's not a $90 million asset if you're.
It is if they're coming to buy it.
If you're ready to get rid of him,
they're not ready to get rid of him. If they were, they'd do it. Now, if it'd be different if it was A&M and Jimbo Fisher, I think if someone had come knocking for Jimbo Fisher and that whatever that was $74 million, which I think is about what the Lincoln Riley rumor was. It was because it was really similar. But anyway, I could see them trying to negotiate that, but I don't know if they're going to take much of a discount beyond 60, 14
if you've got a car that's a $50,000 blue book, but and I know, or that oh, it's got a blown head gasket, but you haven't been able to tell yet for the person that's buying it, or it's got a radiator leak or something like that, and you don't do your full due diligence checking it out, and somebody offers you 30 grand for it, you go, yeah, sounds good.
Hackeroff's the market for lemons notwithstanding. Thank you for bringing that up.
Of course,
it's still going to be the case. Aside from the asymmetric information, it's not like anyone doesn't know what they're getting out of Lincoln Riley. And so if they're in the market and they're saying we want it, we'll take it. That negotiation
at the NFL level,
USC is going to play hardball.
At the NFL level, you bring in an offensive head coach that's going to be the coordinator, and your general manager is picking your defensive coordinator. At USC, their administration is not picking his defense coordinator; they're letting him do it.
Right.
So if he goes to a pro
team, so they want him, they like him.
They could be like,
so USC's going to make you pay for it.
We're bringing in Greg Williams or somebody to be your defensive coordinator, and you don't have a say in the matter if you want this job. And then Lincoln says, yes, please. I want to be the Titans head coach and offensive coordinator, and you give me whatever defensive coordinator that's proven that you want.
Yeah, I can see all of that.
He does it.
And USC is going to say, and thank you very much. I think it's $70 million.
I can tell you, as
$70 million.
They're not paying anything like that.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think they're going to pay up for a guy?
No.
Is that a knock against Tennessee?
They let Derrick Henry go to the Ravens for the same amount that they paid to bring in what's the name from Dallas? Pollard.
Yeah.
For literally, there was like a $1 million difference. They signed Pollard to a 3-year deal. They could have kept Derrick Henry,
and they let Vrabel go.
And tell me right now, you would have Derrick Henry on your team or Pollard? I'll tell you which one I want.
I think everybody does.
And it's Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And then you're dumb enough to let Mike Vrabel go, who's completely changed the entire New England Patriots squad.
Yep.
I mean, is there any mutual thing though? Like, and maybe I'm just like not thinking about this correctly in my head. Is there a mutual thing, like Lincoln being like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to move on. I don't. And then USC saying we feel the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you're not.
That's why they're taking a third of the buyout.
So if they did that though, that's Lincoln playing real hardball, and their negotiation strength, and that is sounds like you're quitting, and we don't have to pay you anything.
Correct.
And yet you're still under contract.
Yeah.
And so he may be able to just up and quit, and then take the job. But there's still a contract, and he's under contract, so he can't do that.
Right.
So they still have to pay.
I think it's a mutual agreement between the Tennessee Titans and the USC.
That's the only way it could go.
That's right.
It's the only way it could go. I see the room for discount there.
People renegotiate buyouts all the time in sports.
You don't hear it very much in. Yeah, you don't hear it very much in any of these. But you don't have a lot of these situations, though.
Yeah.
Most of the time, when you're talking about a buyout, they pay it because they want the guy.
It's like a Nick Saban at LSU going to the Dolphins.
Yeah, they want the guy.
Right. And LSU doesn't want him to leave.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But everybody wants the guy.
I'm saying USC is kind of like, we can go either way with this. If you just want to make us an offer, we'll let it go. And also, all their stuff is they're a private institution and not public. So also the numbers that have been thrown around haven't been substantiated.
No, I think those were that leak was pretty firm, and I think it was around 70 million, but I think that was a pretty good
down by 11 million after that.
If Lincoln would,
I would think so. Yeah,
Lincoln would just stop saying they're close. Would USC fans be as fed up?
I know
because I don't know. Like if you're a USC fan and you're watching that game last weekend, and maybe you're like us, and maybe you do have realistic expectations, not like you. But you're like us.
I'm the realist.
You have homeristic expectations that you're going to go and perform and do well and potentially have a shot at winning that game. Every outsider looking in, I had no expectation USC was going to be anywhere in that game.
Right.
Because I mean, they are what they are.
They weren't even going to be close.
They are what they are.
They were down by, well, they would have been down by 7, but they went for 2
I feel like Lincoln has had his best season at USC this season, though.
I do too.
They went 10-2 the first year.
Yeah, but look who they're playing.
Yeah, look who they're playing. Yeah.
Well, I agree. But if I'm a USC fan,
holistic talent-wise,
they're going to finish
performance-wise on the field.
That's not a bad season.
I think this is the best season they've had.
I think people are getting sick of Lincoln's personality at USC.
That's not hard to get sick of.
Well, especially if you start to believe that he's pulling one over on you, and now he has a bad track record on it.
It is.
So, anybody else that is interested in the coaching carousel that might enter it, or Like there could be another domino. A lot of dominoes could fall if people start to go different places and it opens up opportunities. Matt Campbell,
Shane Beamer,
Lane
Kiffin domino is the biggest.
What's going to happen with Luke Fickell? He's not going to get fired, is he?
No, Wisconsin came through and said that he's in for a year. Yep.
Just like Aranda. So everybody's seeing the writing on the wall where they stand in the pecking order.
Yeah, they're like the eighth choice for getting a good coach.
That's awful.
Which was great of OSU to jump on the North Texas guy as soon as they could.
It's looking out great. It's looking great for OSU for both making the move finally, and then making the move to get the guy nailed down. If all of that substantiates and proves to be true, very interesting. Glad we're not looking for a coach. We're going to get to some trivia, but first, Jay sent his thoughts, and I want to make sure we get these read because they dovetail with some of the things we've been saying. Low scoring, ugly defensive battle, much like the Missouri game. That's his expectation. Need to play clean and just get the W. Hopefully the season they've had plus the weather keeps them lifeless and we can exert our will. Imperative to not give them life early and a reason to care about winning this game. I totally agree with that. I want to talk about that in a second. Tatum being available is exciting, but also concerning due to his lack of contact and ball security issues. Lack of contact definitely is a concern. And lack of, just being game ready from that standpoint of kind of, just taking some licks and being in midseason form. He's not even in preseason form to some degree. I do think that there's a chance if we can jump out on them early, bad weather, cold, whether or not it's raining during the game, these guys they're ready to be done with this whole thing. I just don't see them playing with a lot of heart. If you can convince them they have no chance, I think they'll pack it up and be done.
What's their record? They have bowl eligibility on the table?
There's 6-5.
7-4.
Or 7-4? Oh,
so they're going
okay. Yeah, they're going to a bowl.
Well, for as much as we lambast Brian Kelly because he kills people and we don't like him, they've had 3 top 10 recruiting classes in a row. So they're athletes all over the field for LSU on both sides of the ball. We all thought Nessmeyer was going to be probably the SEC quarterback of the year, and he's been benched because he's played so bad. The backup kid looks like he's learned the offense pretty well.
Freshman or redshirt?
Didn't look great against Western Kentucky.
I thought he played at Mississippi State.
I think he did.
Right.
He didn't look that good against Western Kentucky. The whole team didn't. But that could have been one of those overlooked games because you're fixing to go to Norman. You're not expecting Western Kentucky to be any good. It was senior night, that kind of thing at LSU. They've lost their coach. A whole myriad of reasons that they shouldn't play well in that game and didn't.
Yeah.
But coming here, they beat us last year. They probably think they're hot shit still, even without a coach. And
that's LSU.
And that's good. And that's in our favor.
Yeah, that'll help our guys stay focused, I think.
Well, and help them be arrogant and stupid.
Yeah. So I agree with everything Jay said as far as the weather should be a factor. Or, I hope it's not a factor, but it could be a factor.
I think it's a factor in our favor.
You do?
Yeah, I think it shuts them down. And they're just like when OU went to Nebraska in, was it 97? I remember talking to those players. I was a tutor for them. And they were so ready to be done from the kickoff.
Yeah.
It was cold, wet, and raining, and that season was done for them. Now, that season was more done for the Sooners than this season's done for LSU, but also not so much because they've lost their coach. They're probably thinking about their next gig or where they're going to position. They're not worried about the bowl game. They don't care about a bowl game. They're just trying to figure out what comes next for them, be it at LSU or somewhere else. So I think the attitude problem, if you put it that way, is all in OU's favor.
I think, yeah, I agree. And it's a lot of weird factors playing into that team. I think one thing that this team has done well is kind of blocked out the noise and the expectations either for or against them and just kind of went and played their game.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any concern about us underestimating LSU at this point. I think we're going to be really prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to boil down to execution. And I think what we said is at dinner is, you jump out early on this team and you figure out a way to be up 2 scores.
Yeah.
Don't
make mistakes
earlier.
And I don't want Brent to tell him not to make mistakes.
Right.
But don't make mistakes.
Don't make mistakes and just go play the game.
Yeah.
This is a team you should beat. This is not a team that's as good as the Missouri team we played last week by any means.
Mm-mm.
I don't think.
No.
And it's a team that's on their heels. So go ahead, finish the job, push them over, and move on to the playoff talk.
Get it done. I think you're right.
How many swamp rats do you guys think we're going to get a good contingent of swamp rats this year?
No, I don't think so. I think
so
I think it'd be pretty soft. I can't imagine they bring many fans. Not anywhere close to.
I think the way their season's gone and losing their coach, and now there may be some guys
I wouldn't go
excited about Lane Kiffin coming in, but that doesn't do any good for this game.
Right.
So when they look at the weather and they're like, nope, I'm not going to Oklahoma to go sit in that 20-degree weather with cold wind and possible rain chances.
So are you saying you think Lane Kiffin's taking the job?
I think Lane Kiffin's going to.
I think he is as well.
I lean that way
when
too.
We talked about it 3 weeks ago or whatever. I thought he's better where he is now because he runs that town. He's the king of Oxford.
Right.
But now I think there's just too much smoke, too many weird dialogues.
He's just dragged it.
Yeah, and it's dragged on, and
I know it's Lane being Lane, but like it's just it's because
unless it's a negotiation,
and I'm sure,
and they're going to come in, and they're still going to come in.
If they were all going to get
a deal,
Mississippi would already give him whatever he wants.
Yeah,
don't you think?
It's a circus act.
By now, you have to know what your top offer is, and you've made it, and he's either said yes or no.
And how crazy with the ultimatum that they said that if he's not going to be the coach, he's not coaching the playoff game.
Which is
they said that?
Yeah. Supposedly.
They said they have to have a decision.
Which, I mean, it makes sense.
After the Egg Bowl.
It kind of got leaked that way, so we don't know for sure if that's
It's not like they've told him that if you're not our coach after the Mississippi State game, you need to be on your way. We're going to get this team focused.
So
for the playoff.
You're going to throw away your playoff bid.
Right.
And if you're the committee, how different is that than back to the Florida State situation?
Exactly.
Do you have to discount?
What about all your assistant coaches? Like if Lane going to take a half his
staff, you can
hemorrhage
the team.
You're going to let them. You're going to let those guys coach, even though you're forcing Lane not to coach.
Right.
Like obviously you want whoever their offensive coordinator is. I still think Lane calls most of the plays, but whoever their offensive coordinator is, you're going to let him. You're going to let that guy be the interim head coach while Lane goes, even though he's probably going to go to LSU with him.
What if they won the title? The coach listen, they won the title. Does he get a ring?
And how much does Ole Miss hemorrhage players to LSU if Lane leaves?
Well, and how many?
But those guys are still playing the playoff.
Probably.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Probably.
I would think they would.
Yeah,
they would play in the playoff. But I mean,
you had guys last year that
got to have a weird mentality. Like, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that know a lot of stuff that's not out there officially. I'm sure, players probably included. It's just, I mean, if I saw my head coach on national TV in this, soap opera, it's college football soap opera at this point, I'd be like, what the hell is going on? I'd be going to his office like, what are you doing?
We kind of had that thought going into the OSU game before
Lincoln
left, because we'd all heard that.
Except he'd given assurances, and he came out and lied to our faces
after the game.
It was after the game that he said he's not going to be there.
He said he's not going to be there.
It was in limbo.
Yeah, that week of Bedlam. Because
there were people saying that he was.
Now there wasn't an offer out there,
right?
So it wasn't like they had offered him the job publicly.
But wasn't there a jet tracker that had a Baton Rouge Norman or something like that?
Was that?
And there was also the week of Baylor when he just didn't go to practice.
It was
went to like
Baylor.
It
was Baylor. Yeah,
it was the week before Baylor.
Yeah, but we found out after the fact that we probably was in LA on Tuesday.
Yeah, because he didn't do his media availability that day.
That's right.
Where's Lincoln? They go, he's got a personal matter.
Yeah.
They go look at palm trees.
Well, Connor, do you have some trivia for us this week?
I've got some trivia. So I introduced this question a couple weeks ago.
You're gonna test our memory.
I've done some research.
Hopefully not with ChatGPT.
All right, so turnovers have been a big deal the last few weeks, right?
The whole season, but definitely the last few weeks.
But definitely the fact that they've started coming in.
We've had 6 or 7 the last 3 games.
Right.
I hate doing that. I tell my kids not to do it. Don't make me do it. I thought it was interesting and to think back when the last time an Oklahoma player had multiple interceptions in a single game.
So
I'll give you the.
is it number 15? Zach Sanchez.
Okay, that's your guess.
That's my first guess.
Is there any hint?
It was during the Lincoln Riley era.
During the Lincoln Riley era.
In a single game.
In a single game.
Okay.
I thought it was way longer than what
number 6.
Trey Brown.
Trey Brown.
That's what I was thinking.
Was it?
Nope.
Not Trey Brown.
I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say the other Trey.
Norwood.
Trey Norwood.
Trey Norwood.
Okay.
That's a good guess. That's a strong guess. Was one of them on special teams?
The player?
The interception.
The interception on special teams.
Like going for 2.
Oh, don't have that.
That still seems finish.
That would count though.
All right, I got Trey Norwood.
Well,
Trey Brown was my only guess.
he said Trey Brown was not so another hint. Unless Trey Norwood's the answer, and then we can just go on.
We ended up not liking this guy a whole lot.
Don't say Buki.
No.
Oh my God. If it was Buki, I was gonna just stand up and walk out.
We just didn't. It's not like we didn't like him.
He was underwhelming.
We just knew that he should not have
the
been
safety.
On the field. I think he played some safety at something.
Yeah. The guy went to Stanford.
No, that's Patrick Fields.
Oh yeah.
We
liked him.
He played quite a bit of cornerback.
Okay.
Cornerback that got was he playing safety in this game? Got just obliterated after Buki got ejected in the LSU game.
I remember that play, but I can't remember who it is off the top.
But obliterated. Just got Joe Burrow tore him up.
I can't.
The whole.
I was thinking there was one
the rest of the game.
Blindside block.
I can't think of it.
I don't know.
What do you got?
Woody Washington.
Woody
Washington.
Oh yeah.
2 interceptions against Oklahoma State in the infamous 2021 game right before Lincoln left.
Yeah. Well,
Trey Norwood.
What was there? Hold on. Wasn't there a third that was called back? Or was that it? No, that was against. You remember that crossing pattern? I think that was a dropped interception or a fumble that they ruled not a fumble. Earlier that year, against maybe West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember what I was talking about because it was like right at the first drive, and it turned the damn game. Exactly. And I think it was Woody. But anyway, go ahead.
So Woody in 2021, Trey Norwood in 2020 against Texas Tech, Jordan Evans against Baylor in 2016. Sorry, Jordan Thomas against West Virginia in 2015. Again, Jordan Thomas 2 interceptions against Oklahoma State in 2015, and then Zach Sanchez with 2 interceptions against Kansas State in 2015. So I
almost guessed Benito against Baylor because he had that game clinching one after he had dropped the one, but I couldn't remember if he had one earlier in the game because that was a big comeback with Jalen Hurts, right?
No, Pardell Motley had an interception in that game, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
That's great.
That's a lot more than I thought it would be.
Send me those details. I'll put it on the trivia page. Listeners should check out the trivia page on our Substack. We have all our historic trivia. So some of those things like getting interceptions, they don't guarantee victory. They don't lock it, but they help ensure it. But I tell you what is a lock, and that's the locks of the week.
The Realist deal, locks of the week.
Not this year.
Good yawn, Nolan. That was perfect on camera, right on cue. You jerk.
Been so bad.
All right, so last week I was pretty good. 2-1. Connor 1-2. Lucas 1-2. Jay 1-2. Listener 2-1. 5-7 as a group without the listener for the season. Me 18-21. Connor 15-23-1. Lucas and Jay tied, both having 20-19. One above 500. 73-82-1 for the team. The listener 12-27. So we gotta pull up some good locks for
those last week. 2 losses.
Yeah, there were some tight ones, man. And we only have this week and 4 more to get ourselves into good, solid contention for the newsletter that we're going to start sending out. But Connor's the one who's got a lot of ground to make up. You really got to come alive.
That's got to be.
The rest of us have a great chance of finishing with a winning record. You've got to get it going.
I don't know about a great chance because I had a pretty like 5-game over 500, and then it's been 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
You're
4
one
weeks in a row.
You're one up,
man.
If you
Fell
just
apart.
you
It's been a
know
rough season.
get a couple 2-1s, and you're in real great shape. Well, I'll start it off. I've got Duke giving 1.5 to Wake Forest. I've got BYU giving 17.5 to Central Florida. And I've got New Mexico State giving 4 to Middle Tennessee State, the traditional rivalry that is New Mexico versus the middle of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you have?
I've got Iowa giving 5.5 against Nebraska. I've got Arizona State getting 2.5 against Arizona. And then I have Alabama giving 5.5 against Auburn.
Okay. Lucas?
I've got Illinois minus 6.5 against Northwestern. Utah minus 11.5 against Kansas. I think they're going to try to run it up and maybe they want to be the second Big 12 team to sneak in. And then I've got Oregon minus 6.5 against Washington. I think they'll stay focused because they want to. I think they want to get a bye.
Okay.
They're up to 6 in the CFP. One of Ohio State, Indiana is definitely going to lose, so that'll drop them. And then that can move them up to 5th because I think they would. I don't know if they would jump Ohio State, but they could jump Indiana. And then you just got to hope for some weird stuff for Tech, either losing West Virginia or losing in the Big 12 title game, and then Oregon to get the 4 seed and host.
Yeah, they got a lot to play.
If they run up the score, which Washington's a decent team, but I think they're going to be looking to score points.
Well, I got Jay's picks, and he's got some similarities with you guys. He's got Bama giving 5.5 to Auburn. So he like you, Connor. Now I don't know if he's donning the Alabama hat the way you are here, but I think that he definitely likes
Arsenal, baby.
Oh, it's Arsenal. That's Arsenal. That's the round ball. So he's got Tennessee giving 3.5 to Vandy, and he's got Oregon giving 6.5 to Washington. Probably a very similar reasoning. Who's our listener?
Listener is a friend of mine from high school, Miguel.
Is he a listener?
Picks up. He's listening occasionally.
Well, he needs to listen some more.
Yeah, he'll
probably do real well if he doesn't listen religiously.
He's got Michigan getting 9.5 against the Ohio State University. Got Miami giving 6.5 against Pittsburgh. And he had Arizona State getting 1.5. I found that at 2.5, so we'll give him the 2.5.
So, say the last one.
Arizona State getting 2.5 against Arizona.
Okay. Likes your pick. So I don't know. Those sound like some solid winners to me. I don't see how we can miss at this point, right? Hey, we've done pretty well.
Still 1 and 2 coming on.
I'm not. I'm coming alive. I'm making up some lost ground here. We'll see. We'll see. What about a prop bet? What's our prop bet? And because it's not your prop bet, right? We got some side prop bets we're going to get to in a minute.
Did you give yours?
What?
Did you give your picks?
Yeah, I gave my picks. Yeah, listen up, Noel. Come on. I appreciate you editing us so live. That's real good. What's our prop bet? No, I do appreciate that. It is not unheard of for us to forget to do something. Prop bet, Connor. What do you got?
I'm looking for the offense to find a fire this week. We need it.
Over under on fire.
How much will we light ourselves on fire?
Douse ourselves in gasoline.
Over under on 100 touchdowns Mateer will account for running and or passing. I've got the line set at 2.5.
That sounds like a great line. Because I was thinking 2.
I'm a hard over on that one. And now this is interesting. I'm going to jump in here before I give you guys a second to think about this a little bit more. Connor's 9-4 in the prop bet of the week. The rest of us, you want to guess what we are? We're 6-7. I'm 6'7". Lucas and Jay are Lucas is 7'6" and Jay is 6'7". Get with the program, Connor. It's all about 6'7".
Can't do locks of the week. I may as well do these prop bets.
Yeah, you're killing it. Well, I got the over. I think that he's proven that he's good for a touchdown running just about every game, and he is 2 is a second one through the air looks like another really solid thing. So if he can just muster one more, and then of course the upside is all yours. 4, 5, 6, 7. You can probably throw for 6 and run for a couple more. I don't know.
I'm over as well.
All right. Talked you into it. What do you got? You have Jay's, or we'll have to get it later.
Jay is under.
Jay is under.
I'm under as well.
Oh, you had to have somebody else convince you.
I think it's 2.
So what he's
2's a good number.
so what he kind of held at.
Does that mean if he throws for 2 and then we hand off for 1, get to 21, he counts for 2. The handoff
Yeah.
doesn't count. So
Well,
I
what
would love to see 3 passing touchdowns.
I would too. The thing that really will help the under is back to Brent, back to our style, back to our inadequacies. If we get into the third quarter, deep into the third quarter, it's not like he's going to be looking to pass the ball unless they have to. So
Hopefully we're
that
trying
just
to do a lot of
diminishes. Yeah, it's going to be
and the
handouts.
cold weather
Yeah,
might inhibit some catching.
Good prop bet. So
Stiff hands.
what was your alternative prop bet that you were going to propose? Bauer Sharp?
Oh, how many Bauer Sharp
receptions.
Fumbles? Turnovers?
No, it was.
Drop special team or drop trick plays?
I was trying to think of a way to describe it on catches and or throws. Like how many plays he's involved in, not blocking.
Mhm.
He's
Like,
not going to throw the ball.
How many plays he's involved in. And I was going to say 3.5 was the over-under.
Like
So-
where he touches the ball.
Touches the football.
Touches the football.
Just 3?
Now, if he recovers a fumble, that counts. Because
Sure.
you're catching the football.
Sure.
I was at 3.5.
3.5?
Pass.
Yeah. Does he have to complete the pass?
Hits as well.
I
I can't say receptions.
was receptions and or throws.
Or
and or
runs?
recovered fumbles.
Or runs?
Recovered
Or
fumbles is a really stupid stat to include in that.
I mean, we're good. We're
May
good
as
at
well
forcing
include
fumbles
drops as
lately.
well.
I mean, if they throw it, somebody else catches it, and they fumble, and he jumps on it.
That's not him. I mean, that's incidentally involved in the play, though, right?
Yeah,
That's a major involvement if he recovers a LSU fumble.
Yeah, but again, it's not like he was.
The number's 3.5.
It's not designed.
Those yards.
I would have
rushing
taken the over.
Hmm.
If you recover it, I think they're team yards. I don't think you get the
You don't get a
yards.
stat.
I don't think so.
I'm going over.
I go over.
Hmm.
I'd go over that. What do you think? You said over?
I think they'll throw to him. Go look at the Bama tape.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They work the tight end.
Yeah, but are we gonna?
He's got to catch it though.
We're gonna be conscious of covering the middle of the field after we got kind of torched against Bama with the linebacker, and then Ole Miss. I mean, Missouri really.
Yeah, you
didn't
would
do
think
anything.
so.
Like, I was surprised Missouri didn't try to do that more because they had that one dude that was like 6'7"
6, 7.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
And what number was he? You remember?
87.
87.
-20.
That dude was huge. I thought there was a couple mismatches that they might just
He was so big.
throw it over the middle.
He was on Eli
They just
Bowen a
didn't.
lot too.
I know.
It was like
5'9" versus
Yeah.
6'5" or 6'7".
It was like Derek Strait trying to cover what's his face from Oklahoma State in 2000.
The tight end.
Yeah.
Tight end, yeah.
How was his name? Yep, can't remember.
Ah,
Anyway, wasn't May. I know it was Sam Mays. But
no, when Sam Mays. Hayes?
I don't know.
Oklahoma State tight end. Year 2000.
2000 final play.
We don't keep track of OSU players around here.
What was the final of that game? 12-9?
12-6.
12-6.
12-6. Yeah, that would have been
12-6.
an extra point to win it for him.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I'd probably go
Rivers?
Marcellus Rivers.
Marcellus Rivers.
Yeah. I'd probably go under
Go.
Bauer Sharp at 3.5. I think it's gonna be 3.
Okay.
But it doesn't count for the problem.
No, it doesn't. But it's fun.
Yep.
Tell you what else is fun is getting the score right when the Sooners win big and they cover. And we'll see what we can do right now because it's time to pick the score. Jay has given us his score. You guys already have your score? I don't want to influence you in any way. Well, Jay has the Sooners winning 20-13. Much in alignment with what he was describing with how he sees the game going. That's a lot like yours, Lucas.
Yep.
What do you
I
got?
have 20-14.
20-14.
Oklahoma.
All right.
One less field goal because of the weather. I
Okay.
don't think
All right.
bombing them in if it's like 30 degrees outside.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you got?
We're gonna win this game 31-10.
31-10. Wow, yes, I love it.
Defensive score?
No.
Wow. Our offense is going to score 31 in an SEC game.
Now, is that one?
Count.
That's one field goal that would tie the record for consecutive field goals. Isn't he 1 to tie, 2 to beat it?
He's already at the OU record, right?
Right. I think it's the SEC record. I think he's 1 away from tying, 2 to win it. But
or the SEC or the NCAA.
Oh, NCAA.
That's SEC, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was
SEC
SEC.
like 28 or something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's right. Well, I like your score a lot. I in fact so much I'm going to agree with one of those two. Sooners are only going to get 27. They're going to get 2 field goals, and they're going to limit LSU to 10 points. So it's 27-10. It's going to be a beatdown. We're going to get some points. We're going to get those points late that we just seem to not be able to get. We're going to finally get it in the fourth quarter. We're just going to a game sealing type of score, a touchdown.
I'd like to not be as stressed at the end of this game as we were in the fourth quarter. Punt back and forth.
Hopefully, hopefully so.
You got it. Lulled me to sleep. Like Missouri hits that big pass, and I'm like, crap.
Wake up.
I knew it was out there for a chance to happen.
Yeah.
But then it does happen. It's like, oh,
yeah, no
right.
kidding.
We got to make sure we're freaking paying attention because we might go and lose this game.
Oh, that would have been so rough. All of it was just it's not like
pleasant.
Back in the Lincoln Riley days, it was cardiac Sooners where it's this thrilling. Oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to knock down the 2-point conversion. We're going to intercept them going into the end zone at the end. We're going to score late. We're going to outscore them. It's a different kind of just stress. It's like, can we hold? Can we hold? Can we hold?
You're just hoping for that not to get the one big play.
The one big play.
Like Missouri was against us. They gave up this Italian touchdown. You take that away, this game nail biting the entire time.
Absolutely.
So painful.
And you look
it's already painful.
So many times where we didn't have those and we're such a good defense, we don't have those where they're just barely off their fingertips or something. But we did have some. One, it was a big sack. But if it wasn't for the defensive line getting to him, we would have been toast in the backfield. They didn't know what they were doing.
I was shocked we didn't call timeout.
And 3 timeouts.
I will say last game.
We had 2 at that point. I think we'd burned 1.
I did like when Brent called a timeout. I think it was the first half when Missouri had some momentum and got like 2 or 3 first downs in a row.
Yeah.
He called a timeout to just settle things down.
I like that.
And I thought that was really good.
And then he called one.
He called one when
right before the field goal.
They were going to go for
they were going to go for it, and he
saw what they lined up as.
Yep.
They called timeout.
Yep.
They come out with the same exact formation again. Then we call a timeout.
Yeah.
And then they decided to kick the field goal and missed.
Which I think was it's one of many just critical plays to get we partially blocked that. We blocked that field goal. Yeah, we blocked it. Yeah. And just I don't know if he just put the fear of God into him with that timeout or what.
I thought it was odd that they literally set their stuff up, ran the guy in motion, and then Missouri called the timeout with that formation
to show you it.
And then they ran it the same exact formation again with the same guy in motion, and then Brent called the timeout.
Right.
I thought that whole sequence was strange on Missouri's part,
which is kind of like some interesting chess match there.
And you decided to rerun the same play. I mean, maybe they called it a play, but it was the same formation and the same motion guy. That was
so. Is Brent
interesting?
Out coaching some guys? He's out coaching offenses.
Oh, he's definitely out coaching the offenses.
And is there some out coaching just all around? I mean,
Brent said it best when they said, Zach Alley went to West Virginia, and you've made yourself the defensive coordinator. What went into that decision? And he said, well, I'm pretty damn good at it. He's had 20 years of being pretty damn good at being a defensive coordinator.
I have no problem with it.
Nope.
And
we worried a little bit about it. And then when they brought Kevin Wilson in, and you see Kevin standing by him, watching the whole game flow,
right?
In case Brent needs to go talk to his defense.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a little bit.
They're all wearing headsets, so they can talk to each other and stuff. But it seems like Brent is just as involved as the head coach,
right?
When we were worried that he wouldn't be,
right?
We were worried that defense gets a stop, comes off the field, offense goes out there, and Brent's going to turn his back and go huddle with his. Mike linebacker
and not be paying attention to anything.
And say, hey, do this, do that. It seems like he's done a fantastic job of being able to do both. And
I think he's really empowered that staff underneath him on the defensive side of the ball as well. I think you got a lot of really.
Yeah, he's not a control freak micromanager.
Seems like Bates is awesome. Yep. Davis is awesome.
There's still some clock
Eli's done a great job.
Personnel decisions that we've missed on, but it's going to happen. I mean, there's still some places he can be better with the clock.
Sure.
And how we're managing going in towards the end of the half or trying to put a game away. It was nice seeing him getting tears face after one of those drives last weekend.
That was huge. It's very.
I mean, it's great to see that, and I want to see that. Like, you're the head coach, hold everybody accountable. I think he is out coaching people on both sides of the ball to an extent, for sure.
I've got my homer optimism, and maybe it's just well-founded optimism, is in support of what you're saying. They are getting better. They have gotten a lot better at a lot of things. They're not there yet, but I think they're on a trajectory to continue to get better. Arbuckle's going to get more mature. He's going to get more mature as a head coach. They're going to get more mature as a group, as a functional unit. And I see really positive developments in all of those respects so that they become, in the next few years, a really, really solidly coached team from top to bottom.
And I don't think we've talked enough about, we've said we need to see some changes probably on the offensive side of the ball, coaching wise. We've all had our doubts of DeMarco for the last 6 or 7 years with his rotation and all that. We don't think Emmett Jones is making the best of the wide receivers. We were excited coming in because it looked like he was bringing in some dudes.
Yeah.
And nobody's really panned out, other than Satania this year. And then
who knows what Joe John Finley is?
Yeah, exactly. But on the defensive side of the ball, we're at the point where we have to start worrying about keeping those guys.
Correct.
I don't think it doesn't seem like Bates wants to be a head coach. So maybe he wants to be defensive coordinator, but it seems like he loves being with Brent.
Mm-hmm. Brandon Hall could go be a head coach, though.
Yeah, Brandon Hall could be. I mean, Eli's done a really good job.
They got to choose where they want to go.
Eli's done with all these kids. He's literally had freshmen and sophomores the last 2 years
falling out.
That he's throwing Guillory out there, Eli Bowen's out there. He hasn't really had Gentry for some of the season, and our corners are still looking good. And a lot of that is coaching.
For sure.
They're turning the interception last week by Jacoby Johnson was textbook. He said, and I saw an interview, he essentially said that the zone that he was going to be covering, nobody was in, and he saw where it was going to go and just made a break on it and couldn't have caught that any better. It was fantastic. And I don't want to lose any of those defensive guys.
I would rather not.
They're all doing their job.
But I'm
confident in Brent.
It's a great place to be where you're worried about losing great guys. And I cannot imagine another defensive coordinator / head coach you'd want to come work for on the defensive side of the ball. So he's going to have his pick of the litter throughout the entire country. And I think his track record is really good at bringing people in on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
I also think that we are foresightful enough as an organization and we pay well enough that those guys will have to think long and hard before they go take the North Texas job to replace Eric Morris or something comparable, to think, do I really want to be a part of that versus what I got going on here? And also elevate yourself to a higher and better position if it comes available, be it a coordinator position somewhere that then could potentially be a big time head coach. We have a lot of coaching openings this year. There's going to be a lot next year. There's going to be a lot the year after that. College football is very dynamic and competitive right now, so be careful where you lock yourself in.
And there's not a lot of schools looking to hire defensive head coaches.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, Lanning is one.
You really have to establish yourself,
yeah,
and have that right situation to be that guy.
And it seems like all these guys love OU.
Yeah, they seem very bought in.
Even love just Norman itself, and
very bought in.
You see some of these coaches out doing stuff in the community, which I'm sure coaches all over do that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But it just seems like Brent runs such a good program as far as culture that's the kind of place that those guys they're already in.
Yeah.
Why would you want to leave?
And that's a tribute to him in the culture building.
Yeah.
He selects people that are good fits for the culture, and that's a nice byproduct of it is you get to keep the guys that are fitting in well. It's not a turnstile of aggression and let's just plug and play and get the next guy in, and it's everybody's kind of a cohesive unit. So I really like that. A lot of positivity. I like it. Let's take this homer positivity into a victory on Saturday against LSU. Wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. hopefully everybody has a really nice and safe. Everybody has to be safe. I get so sick of it. Be safe. Like, be safe. Quit telling me to be safe. Just tell me
we
to
got a
have
lot of
fun.
good games on Friday coming up.
A lot of good games on Friday. Great day of college football. Great day on Saturday. We'll be back with the post game and hopefully be just priming ourselves for a big time matchup. Hopefully we look so good that no doubt in our mind we're going to be hosting here in Norman come December 20th, probably, maybe 19th, but either way, hosting a playoff game. Well, until then, Boomer.
Sooner.